Let's do weather for Weather Geeks on this Tuesday evening. Today was a real nice mid-spring day. We got into the middle and upper 60s this afternoon, and of course, we had a fair amount of sunshine. I want to start this evening with a look down at the clouds from our low-orbiting satellite that takes a nice picture of our region a couple of times each day, early to mid-afternoon. And we're going to compare this picture to the same one from a few weeks ago. We had a few fair weather cumulus clouds around today. Notice the lack of sediment on Lake Erie. The lake is definitely calmer looking than it was a few weeks ago. So let's compare and contrast. This was today, and this was March 19th. Crystal clear sky that day across our region. Notice how brown the landscape still was across northern Ohio, northwest PA, and all the sediment kicked up on Lake Erie due to some wind during mid-March. So a better looking day today, and a good looking time lapse from our tower camera on the south side of Youngstown today. A few fair weather cumulus clouds. Sometimes we call them popcorn cumulus. Harmless, pretty looking clouds that pop up especially during the afternoon hours, but they don't get very tall in the sky when conditions are like they were today. We overachieved a little temperature-wise today. Got up to 68 at the airport today. One of the warmer spots across the region was right here today. We matched the 68 in New Philly and in Pittsburgh. Cleveland only got to 62, a little bit of a lake breeze today. Kept Cleveland to Erie just a little bit cooler. Our weather is quiet this evening. It's going to stay that way overnight tonight. Rain and a severe weather threat in the deep south, and actually a system up across the upper Midwest. Pretty easy to pick out on the satellite and radar combo here. A curlicue across the arrowhead of Minnesota. This system is producing snow showers and cold temperatures in the upper Midwest. Not going to bring us necessarily snow showers around here, although I can't rule out a couple of snowflakes Thursday into Thursday night. What will be a bigger deal for us will be the chill and the rain showers that this will instigate as it moves across the Great Lakes in about 36 hours or so. All right, good news in the weather forecast department for today and for tomorrow, with the exception of the pollen. The tree pollen is high, and it gets knocked down temporarily by rain at this time of the year, but then it bounces right back on a day like today. The grass pollen is inching upwards, but it's not nearly as much of an issue as the tree pollen. And, this is all a little ahead of schedule. Things are blooming and greening up certainly faster than last year, and compared to average, probably we're at least a couple of weeks ahead of schedule, thanks to the warm March and warm start to April. Typically, our tree pollen levels kind of peak during the second half of May and very early in June. We see an earlier peak this year. The grass pollen typically peaks around midsummer, and the weed pollen typically during the second half of the summer season around here. All right, if you haven't mowed the grass yet, tomorrow is the day to do it. Some clouds around first thing in the morning, but otherwise mostly sunny. Temperatures similar to today, making their way into the mid-60s. All right, that upper level low then will dumbbell through the Great Lakes by Thursday. And the most numerous showers Thursday will probably be in the afternoon. Can't rule one or two out in the morning, but most of this will be in the afternoon. And when it's raining, it's going to be raw Thursday. No higher than the upper 40s and maybe even closer to 43 or 44 when rain is coming down in parts of the area Thursday afternoon. I mentioned I can't rule out a snowflake, especially Thursday night. Maybe a random snowflake mixed in. But otherwise, just chilly rain showers here and there. And although you don't see much depicted on our model here Friday morning, I'm not going to be surprised if in this chilly northwest flow, we still have some lake-enhanced showers in the area, and temperatures will struggle once again. Showed you this map last evening. Not much has changed. There's not going to be any snow accumulation around here, but not far to our east, up in the higher terrain of northwest PA and southern New York, around Jamestown, New York, and just south and west of the Finger Lakes, down towards Bradford, Pennsylvania. Yeah, there could be some dustings around there. But across the Poconos, the Catskills, the Adirondacks, Green and White Mountains, the Berkshires, there's going to be several inches of wet snow at the end of this week. Nothing all that unusual for the mountainous areas in mid-April. All right, so our weather maker is this upper level low right here, which will pivot through. And, when you look at the jet stream after that departs, a lot of times the atmosphere kind of snaps back after an upper low departs. You get a ridge that starts to build in. Not so much this time. It's not the coldest pattern in the world, but it's certainly not a very warm-looking pattern for the next handful of days. As more of these little areas of low pressure continue kind of pinwheeling around kind of a parent trough across Hudson Bay and eastern parts of Canada as well. Let's talk about the longer range and how long this cooler pattern is likely to stick around. A couple of models to show you this evening. This is the latest climate forecast system, CFS. In other words, showing the temperature anomalies at the 850 millibar level. That's about 5,000 feet above our heads, but this is a good approximation of how the temperature regimes down here where we live will be. And yeah, lots of blues and greens taking us through the next week to 10 days. This is a look at, we're out into the last week of April here. Not much has changed. And then as we fast forward into May, our confidence in any model solution will decrease, of course, once you get out to 3 and 4 weeks. But let's just look at this just for argument's sake. And, the current model information that I'm showing you here does not show a lot of oranges and reds as we head into early to mid-May. The pattern's likely to become less cool, according to that, but maybe not all that warm either. What about the European weeklies, we call them? These are put out every Monday and Thursday. So this is last evening's run of the Euro weekly, showing again the 850 millibar temperatures compared to average. Blues and greens dominate, it looks like, through the end of the month. And finally into early May, maybe we get some warmer, temperature regimes occasionally, but it's offset occasionally by some blues. We don't see a lot of consistent oranges and reds, warmer than average temperatures, shown by any of the modeling as we go into early May. It's perhaps likely that in meteorological spring, March, April, May, spring compared to average, those temperatures might have peaked during the first 10 days of April. Again, compared to average. We'll see what happens later in May, but at least for the next few weeks, not seeing a lot of warmth on the modeling. All right, I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone.